Chancellor Friedrich Merz said Germany's move not to authorize any exports of military equipment to Israel which could be used in its offensive in Gaza was a reaction after the decision by Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's cabinet to take over Gaza City came as a surprise. According to Associated Press, Merz's government made the announcement on Friday in a strikingly quick response by one of Israel's strongest international backers. The Israeli cabinet has made a decision that came as a surprise to us, namely to once again escalate the military conflict in the Gaza Strip, Merz explained during an interview on Sunday. And there has been a reaction to this, namely to stop supplying weapons that are used in these conflicts. The move by Germany, which has previously stopped short of tougher lines against Israel's government taken by some of its European Union allies, appeared likely to further isolate Israel in the wake of the military takeover plan that has been decried by the United Nations, aid and human rights groups, and supporters of Israeli hostages still held in Gaza, among others. We cannot supply weapons in a conflict that is being attempted to be resolved exclusively by military means, which could claim hundreds of thousands of civilian casualties and requires the evacuation of the entire city of Gaza, Merz added. Where are these people supposed to go? We cannot do that. We are not doing that, and I will not do that either. Netanyahu on Sunday said the new expansion would be more sweeping than previously announced a few days earlier. The Prime Minister said as well as Gaza City, the Israeli military would also target Mawasi and camps in the center of the territory sheltering well over 500,000 displaced people, according to the UN. Germany, along with the United States and Italy, is among the top foreign suppliers of equipment used by Israel's military. The pause adds to action taken by European countries, including economic, military, and diplomatic measures, against Israel in recent months out of concern over its government's conduct in the nearly two-year offensive in Gaza.
Es hat eine für uns überraschende Entscheidung des israelischen Kabinetts gegeben, nämlich jetzt den militärischen Konflikt im Gazastreifen noch einmal zu verschärfen. Und darauf hat es eine Reaktion gegeben, nämlich keine Waffen mehr zu liefern, die diesen Konflikt betreffen. Wir werden diesem Land auch weiterhelfen, sich zu verteidigen. Das haben wir ausgeweitet, aber wir können nicht Waffen liefern in einen Konflikt, der versucht wird, ausschließlich mit militärischen Mitteln jetzt gelöst zu werden, der Hunderttausende von zivilen Opfern fordern könnte, der eine Evakuierung der ganzen Stadt Gaza zur Voraussetzung hat. Wohin sollen diese Menschen gehen? Das können wir nicht, das tun wir nicht und das werde ich auch nicht tun. Und Solidarität mit Israel bedeutet nicht, dass wir jede Entscheidung, die eine Regierung trifft, für gut halten und ihr dabei auch noch Unterstützung zukommen lassen, bis hin zu militärischer Unterstützung durch Waffen. Das tun wir nicht, das wollen wir nicht, das war immer unsere Haltung.
German Chancellor Friedrich Merz believes that Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky should be invited to the meeting of US and Russian leaders Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin in Alaska on August 15th. Merz announced that he would speak by phone with Trump about his planned meeting with Putin in Alaska. We are intensively preparing for this meeting at the European level together with the American government. And we hope and assume that the government of Ukraine, President Zelensky, will be involved in this meeting. In any case, we cannot agree that territorial issues between Russia and America are discussed or even decided over the heads of Europeans and Ukrainians, he added. I assume the American government sees it the same way, which is why there is such close coordination, Merz said. We hope for a breakthrough on August 15th. First of all, for there to finally be a ceasefire. And for the possibility of peace talks in Ukraine, Merz said in an interview with the TV channel ARD. He recalled that the conflict in Ukraine has been going on for 3.5 years. It's time to put an end to it, the German Chancellor emphasized. He expressed hope that a decision on a ceasefire could be reached at the meeting. And this is long overdue. This is a diplomatic initiative. We are constantly called upon not only to supply weapons, but also to put forward diplomatic initiatives, Merz said. Europeans do not want and should not be spectators when it comes to the most important strategic issue for the future of Europe. And that is why we hope for this. We are working on this, he continued. In any case, We cannot allow territorial issues to be discussed or even resolved between Russia and America bypassing the Europeans and Ukrainians. I believe that the American government shares this point of view, the German chancellor summed up, adding that, this is precisely why there is such close coordination. This will continue in the coming days. We will continue this in Berlin as well, he concluded.
Ukrainian intelligence operatives struck a Russian air defense unit in the Krasnodar territory on August the 8th, killing at least 12 soldiers and wounding dozens more. Ukrainian media outlet Babel reported the information. According to Babel sources, fighters of Ukraine's Defense Intelligence, HUR, carried out a successful operation against a Russian anti-aircraft missile brigade stationed in the Krasnodar territory. The strike occurred in the village of Afipsky, targeting the military unit of the 90th Anti-Aircraft Missile Brigade of the Russian Air Defense Forces. 2 explosions were reported near the checkpoint of the facility. As a result, at least 12 Russian servicemen were killed, with dozens more wounded. Military equipment at the site was also destroyed. Local special services quickly sealed off the area and imposed a so-called anti-terrorist operation regime. Witnesses observed a large number of ambulances and emergency vehicles on the scene to conceal the true nature of the attack. Russian sources began circulating a narrative on social media claiming the explosions were caused by faulty vehicle equipment. Babel sources emphasized that the targeted brigade had previously been involved in military operations against Ukrainian forces in the Kherson and Zaporizhia directions. Afipsky is a settlement in Russia's Krasnodar region, located about 500 kilometers from Ukraine and roughly 1,200 kilometers south of Moscow. In the media space, a version appeared claiming the explosions were allegedly caused by a vehicle's faulty gas cylinder equipment, while the FSB is working to remove mentions of the incident from the news and social networks. Furthermore, Ukrainian drones successfully struck and damaged the Afipsky oil refinery in southwestern Russia. As a result of the drone strike, a fire broke out at a technical unit for processing gas and gas condensate, the General Staff of Ukraine's Armed Forces said. The refinery, located roughly 200 kilometers from the front line, serves as a strategic logistics hub for diesel fuel and aviation kerosene used by Russian troops. The refinery is also key to Russia's economic might, processing 6.25 million tons of oil annually, or 2.1% of Russia's entire oil refining output, the General Staff said. The refinery has been targeted multiple times since the start of Russia's full-scale invasion.